Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to another fun-filled episode of Left Side, Strong Side. I'm your host, Chancel, and joining me, co-host Mike Deacon. Joining us, returning back to the show, Jeffrey Kahn, once again back here. Jacob, as we are trying to find out, we don't know if he's going to show up. We do not know if he's going to show up. Has anyone heard from him recently? I have not.
I tried to check up on him yesterday, but there was no response. We're 50-50 here.
Oh, there he is. Hey, Jacob. Say that for later. Save that for later. But we are here to talk about all the action of the NFL Week 10. I know there's a lot that Jacob is dying to talk about. But first of all, we gotta start from the very top, even though we really don't want to, because Thursday Night Football was the Carolina Panthers versus the Chicago Bears. What's the count? How many times has Amazon got hoed in this deal? We're at least 10, right? A lot. Point is, there have been more bad Thursday night games than have been good. This one also aired on the side of bad, most because we had Bryce Young versus once again Tyson Bagent trying to do something.
That's why I went to watch the Marvels instead of suffering.
Yeah, I went and saw that.
I live streamed during it. It was bad.
To watch this game.
This game was what it was advertised to be. There was not much to it. The Bears did basically play with more heart than the Panthers. That's why they won. It's pretty much as easy as that.
I mean, they got a run game going. Deontay Foreman had a pretty solid outing. I think really the only person to do something. Bryce Young didn't turn the ball over. I feel like that's the equivalent of a Super Bowl in Carolina right now.
It was 11 punts, I believe, was the final total.
Yes, that is correct. 11 punts in this game. When does the Amazon contract expire? Is my question.
3 years. 3 more years.
Does Amazon renew after those 3 years?
They do, because the numbers have actually been very good. I think, despite the games being terrible, the numbers are great. People watch them. So, I think they do.
Well, I think we're all shocked that this is not – the fact that this is not unwatchable game of the week really says a lot about this week of football.
Yeah. My big takeaway is if Frank Reich lasts the season, I think it's going to be a miracle.
I think they give him one more year, right?
I'll be shocked if he's coaching this team next year.
Really? You don't think so?
No.
As someone who's going to be in the market for a new OC very soon, I would say yes. Please fire Frank Reich so we can hire him.
You're not getting a new OC.
Shut up.
No, I think I really do think the Panthers are going to probably are going to move on from Frank Reich. Even I know it's only been 1 year, but I think it being very clear he didn't want Bryce, and then 2 with what CJ's been doing now. I just think that locker room's going to become untenable, and it's going to be really hard for a coach to be like, "Yep, I'm really glad we got you." When it's very clear he didn't want him.
That'd be fitting considering Tepper would now be paying 2 guys to not coach his team.
Well, no, he doesn't have to pay Rule anymore because Rule got the college job. That's always the thing. The reason the Raiders have to pay what's his name so much?
Daniels.
No, not McDaniel.
And
Gruden was because Gruden got fired for, something that's now going to make him unhireable. He can't
resign, sir.
Yeah, well, so he's not going to be able to get a job anywhere else, and that's
McDaniels. which is also why he won't get a job.
Yeah.
He
Well, look, that's why McDaniels is most likely going to get the job at the Patriots. The difference is he just has to pay the difference. That's the only difference.
Do the Bears fire
Yeah.
Eberflus? If we're speaking about Frank Reich, all right.
No,
100%. Like I don't think Eberflus makes that at the end of the year.
Nice. Yeah, he's on thin ice.
Yo.
Yeah, he's got. Anyways, not much to say about that one. It's Thursday Night Football. It's awful. It's a shit show. And Amazon, seriously, get anybody else to
This week is
rework your
100
team.
I mean, they got a good one this week.
Yeah, this week's 100 times
They
better.
got a good one this week. Yeah.
This week is better. Like your guy came through this week. And we'll talk about it. But up next, we go back to the Deutschland.
Time for Hitler and Germany.
And you know what? In the ultimate payback for World War II, Germany got our unwatchable game of the week.
Oh man.
Oh,
Yeah, look, I hope you enjoyed Chiefs versus Dolphins because
even that wasn't that good.
but like compared to that was the Super Bowl.
Compared
Compared to this.
Yeah, it's true.
This was an ugly game on all fronts. Literally nobody played well. Nobody.
Colts were just
So
lost.
we're all in agreement. Mac Jones isn't the quarterback next year.
Hey, that's McCorkle to you.
Sorry, McCorkle is McCorkle's done.
I get it. You lost. I will give you the right to call him McCorkle.
I don't think their starting quarterback is on the roster right now. I don't think
No,
No.
I think
Yeah, it's not
that one. I
He's in
think
college right now.
they're either going to draft someone because they're able to, like they've got a high draft pick.
Oh, they're going to.
Or
Well,
they trade for
but here's the
veterans.
problem: like if they don't have, if they're third or fourth, I don't know. Like they're probably going to draft someone, or they might if they're third or fourth, they might take a swing and try and get a vet. But if they're first or second, then obviously it's either Caleb or Drake. Like then they get one or the other, and this week's kind of going to decide where they end up. So like that I think is going to be a big factor. The big question mark is Bill the coach next year?
I don't think so.
No,
I think they
looking less and less likely.
they're finally going to implode it. I think.
Like that was embarrassing. Like that was that loss, and one benching like Mac threw his last throw. What could actually end up being his last throw as a Patriot was one of the most embarrassing interceptions I think I've ever seen. And
God, it was awful.
And that's saying something coming from a Bills fan right now. Like that was bad. And then to have him benched and then go, okay, here in the 2-minute drill, go down the field and win the game to your backup. If I'm Kraft, I'm at the point where I'm just going, no, we need fresh, we need new blood here. Something needs to change. We've changed the OC, we've changed the DC. There's one thing left, and I think that's unfortunately, I think we're going to see the end of Bill Belichick's career at the Patriots. Now, I think he'll get another job somewhere else, especially given I think we're in for an off-season, a bloodbath of an off-season in terms of coaches. I think there's a real chance 9 coaches get fired. I think there's a real chance. So there's going to be a job.
Black Monday last year was pretty light.
Yeah, exactly. Like there was a lot of
that
coaches
big.
last Monday that there was a lot that were kind of, we'll see next year. A lot of them haven't stood up this year. So I think it's
Funny thing about this game is like Mac he got away with one. He threw another pick to the same dude.
Yeah.
Then Bailey Zappi comes in, tries
Fake
to
spike.
do a fake spike, and throws a pick that's worse than Mac Jones's.
That has to be the first ever
And the
pick on a
funny-
fake spike.
And the funniest part about that is, even after all of that, Bailey Zappi, who threw 1/3 the amount of passes that Mac Jones did on the day, still finished the day with a higher QBR than McCorkle Jones.
Bailey Zappi should seriously consider NFL Europe because he got a hero's response coming into the game. So,
Oh yeah.
you want to go play in Germany? Your jersey sales
You
are
love
going
me
through the
here.
roof.
Well, I mean, do we know for a fact that Mac Jones actually came home? Did they leave him there?
We have no idea.
I mean, they might have, but no. They haven't announced who starter is this week yet.
Well,
They're
they're
on
on
bye.
bye. Yeah,
They're on bye.
Oh, they're
They're
on
on
a bye.
bye.
Sorry, yeah, they're on a bye.
Yeah,
They haven't
time.
announced
Let's
who.
figure that out. Mac, this is now the third time McCorkle Jones has been benched this year. If he's still starting,
You can't.
I would.
Bailey Zappi must be terrible in practice.
Like,
How bad
There's no excuse.
Call Malik Cunningham back.
yeah,
Yeah.
but here's the thing. The other two times they were blowout games, whatever. This is the concerning one. This is the one where it was a 2-minute drill. Here's the ball, go down and win it. They had a chance to win it, and you didn't give the ball to your starting quarterback. That's he's done. He's done as a starter. You can't play him again after that. Now, to his credit, by all reports, him running up and down the field saying "go down, win it," like he was trying to hype everyone up, and that's good teammate. Good, that's good to hear. But still a little too late, dude. Like, I'm sorry. He's not a starter in the NFL.
Other side of the ball, real quick. But the Colts are like that team that's like a gnat right now. Like, they're just staying in there. Like, they're an annoyance right now because they are very much in the playoff hunt, bizarrely.
Yeah.
And this is a team that really has no right being there. They've just done that. Their schedule has been so favorable that they've been able to stick in there.
It's the Colts at the moment are one of those teams where it's not that you don't want to play them in the playoffs, because I think if you play them in the playoffs, you're probably going to blow them out. Yeah. But they're a team that could, especially given how congested the AFC is right now, they're one of those ones where you kind of don't want to play them in week 16 or 17, and they could cost you a game.
Right.
Like, they could cost you a loss and cost you a spot in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. But yes, Germany. I'm not gonna say I apologize because, again, the whole World War II thing. That still happened. I will ask a question though. Nope, never forget. I will ask the question though. What's something the NFL could do to? I was thinking about what something the NFL could do to improve the international game, because if you want to gain international interest, you need to have a better product out there. Something I thought of was okay, you take two teams that have a bye, and then you send them over there. Send them out they're on a bye. Send them out the day after their game. Let them chill there for a week. Let them get used to it. They're not gonna be jet lagged, and then just do that. That was my thought. I just think the NFL needs to do something pull up the quality of these international games.
Yeah, make them at least require them to travel several days in advance.
The Dolphins traveled on Monday of their game, if I'm not mistaken.
They traveled on Monday.
So it doesn't always work.
Look, here's the thing though. These games sold out within 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it's not like they're not selling. And I get what you're saying, but from the NFL's point of view, the games are doing what they're trying to do. It was one of the highest rated games of the week. It was people are watching them. It's the only people who we're criticizing them, but again, it's the NFL.
I will give you. Okay, here's the pass. Here's what you do. You find a game like this, and you make this the Toy Story game.
I think they tried to do that with Jags Falcons. That was the point. Jags Falcons wasn't meant to be a good game.
Yeah, and I was okay with it.
If you do the Toy Story game, though, you have to have a Toy Story version of Neil Diamond for Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
But or do we also do, because I know Country Road's a big one. Do we have a Toy Story version of John Denver?
Yeah, there we go. No. Both of them.
And is John Denver? Does he come in on a toy plane?
Wow, we
Look,
went grim
I
there.
think what you're going to see going forward next season, I would not be shocked if we have 6 games. I think
6 international.
we did 4 this year. No, we did 5 this year. Sorry, next year's going to be
5.
6. Yeah, we did
There was
5.
3 England games and 2 Germany.
Were there 3?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
There's
Jack
3
twice.
London
Jack that
games.
twice. Yeah.
I think next year's going to be 6. They're going to keep building it until they get to the magic number of 8, and then 8 is, and then they're going to do 8 for 2 years, and that's going to be the test run. And they're going to really test. I think one team is going to have 4 or 5 games next. In one of these years, one team is going to have several games overseas because they're going to want to test it.
Oh,
And it's gonna be Jacksonville. Yeah.
what team's stadium is getting renovated? In
Jacksonville.
yeah, exactly.
Jacksonville.
Okay, I will ask before we move on to before we come back stateside. I'll go around. If you had to plan an international game in any country, where do you think the NFL should try to expand to next? Mike, I'll start with you.
That's a good question. I'd be interested to see just what the dynamic would be in Japan, just like knowing what their culture is for a lot of other sporting events, just to see what their reaction is to it. Because, like, just think of a concert in Japan. They say that, like, silence is the best reaction you can get as opposed to, like, here where, big applause. I'd just like to see what their reaction would be. The same thing with, like, baseball in Japan. Like, they're very quiet. It's interesting to see a game there just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Jacob, what say you?
Look, Japan would be tough. The problem that you've got is a lot of them are really tough because of the time zone difference. Like
Time zones.
Japan, like anything on that side of the date line, like Japan, Australia. Like I'd love for them to go to Sydney. I would kill for them to go to Sydney. It's just the times difference is really tough, and I don't know if you'd be able to do it. But for me, I think Brazil is an answer that I could really see them doing going further down. I think trying to really capitalize on South America is where I could see the NFL going.
Khan?
I don't know. Maybe just sheer numbers. You go India just to get.
For me, I'd say bring. Yeah. For me, I would say South Korea, but it has to be mascots versus kids again.
Wait a minute. Well, I agree that I'm changing my answer.
Ooh.
I want it to be Canada and
Oh,
Pittsburgh
you're gonna get
and their team.
And Pittsburgh.
All right.
Everyone can see blame Canada. Yeah.
Yeah. And I actually like that, but also I don't like it because it means that Matt Canada is not going anywhere, and I don't like that. Up next, what I believe was actually voted our game of the week. Imagine saying this before the season started: Houston versus Cincinnati.
Wow, this game's finish was insane. In having no emotional stakes in this game was awesome. Like watching the end of this game was so much fun. Just like as a fan of football who wasn't really rooting for either team, this was great. I love the end of this game. The last 3 minutes of this game was about as exciting as you could ask for. Damn, that was fun.
It's really funny. Like we're gonna get to it later, but like this weekend, all the games on paper looked really shit except one, and the Jags 49ers was the one game that
that was the blowout.
and it was the one shit game. Everything else was awesome. In that first window at least.
The first window was great.
Yeah.
This is one of 6 games to end with a buzzer beater field goal.
Yeah.
First time in history that's happened in 1 week.
Yeah. CJ Stroud, welcome to the MVP conversation. He's not MVP yet. He's not there yet. But he's in the conversation.
I would assert he's not going to be there ever.
No, he's in the conversation right now.
He's not going to win.
If they make the
D'Amico
playoffs, I
Ryan.
think it's a legitimate shot.
D'Amico Ryan, I think.
Okay, I'm just purely because look, a rookie with MVP has only happened like one other time, and that was literally the greatest player in NFL history. So no, the odds are not in his favor.
Dude, look at their schedule. Look at here's the thing. The Eagles have a tough schedule. Hurts is the favorite. I think Hurts is going to win it at this point.
I think so too.
If Hurts lose this weekend to the Chiefs, and then he loses again to say the Bills, and then he loses to the Cowboys, and the Texans go
The
on a
narrative shift.
6-2 run.
Yeah.
Look, that's I think a realistic possibility. The Texans have a very nice schedule right now. So I do think it is.
See, the last time you said this, it was about a certain androgynous wonder down south, and you see how that's going right now.
No, I understand that. I get it. Like I get it. I'm not saying. I'm just saying he's in the conversation, and it's a possibility.
I agree he's in the conversation. I'm just saying again. I'm just saying he won't win.
Fair enough. But jumping off what Mike said, D'Amico Ryans, I think this weekend locked himself for coach.
It's easy.
I still lean Dan Campbell, but D'Amico Ryans is going to be a tough race.
Campbell's the front runner, but I think D'Amico Ryans is coming closer and closer to him right now.
Mm-hmm. The only reason I'm saying D'Amico is history has shown they give it to to a coach where you were shit last year, and everyone
to be bad
acknowledged the Lions were good. Everyone was going, the Lions were going to be good. Dan Campbell just kind of lived up to the expectations. Mm-hmm. The expectations for the Texans were, cool, the Cardinals are going to get the number 1 and 2 pick.
Yeah.
And this year there's a real chance that the Texans make the playoffs.
The Texans, before the season started, Vegas had them at 6.5. They are there already.
Yeah.
They fired their last 2 coaches after 1 year each.
Yeah. I really that's why I'm saying D'Amico is the favorite right now. I think D'Amico has all but got this locked up right now.
Well, I mean, they got to keep it going. Like, no matter how good or bad
they
got to fire him at the end of the year. That's just how the Texans do it.
I agree with you that they have to make the playoffs. If both are gonna happen, he has to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I think that the only way, and I think D'Amico, if they make the playoffs, D'Amico's got it. If they win the division, that's when I think Stroud gets MVP. He has to win the division. He can't just make it as a wild card. He has to win that division. And then
again, Mike, you're the oldest person. You're the oldest person on the screen right now. Last time Ricky won MVP, Mike wasn't even born yet. So again, that's history. But regardless, so going to the actual game, though, there's a shootout in the fourth quarter. And there was a shootout marred by uncharacteristic errors by, let's be real, both quarterbacks.
Both teams. Both teams at the end.
I mean, Stroud had a very uncharacteristic pick. Only his second in his NFL career.
His first real pick.
It was a bad pick, too. That's true.
The other pick was recovered.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow had two really bad picks. And then Tyler Boyd once again dropping a touchdown.
Gotta hurt.
That was right on his numbers. Like, how do you miss that?
He had it. They hit him right in the hands. He should have had it.
The Tyler Boyd one's tough. The second Burrow pick is, I think, the worst one I've ever seen Burrow throw. It was that was.
I don't know. Did you watch the Week 1 game against Pittsburgh last year? Threw a lot of bad picks there too.
Yeah.
Any chance to bring up the Steelers?
I know this was incredible game from both teams, and the one concern you have for the Texans is, can they do it without having to be in a shootout?
Yeah.
But again, it's the first year of a massive rebuild, and
they're already ahead of schedule.
Yeah, you're massively ahead of schedule, so
you'll take it.
Yeah, you'll take it like that.
And honestly, giving up their first.
This is gonna sound really bad, but you want to know who it reminds me of?
Sean Watson.
2018 Chiefs.
Okay, or that.
This great player can only win in shootouts because his defense just isn't there.
Yeah, again, they had a defense like Houston could be a legit threat. But let's see how they pan out the rest of the season. Up next, the New Orleans Saints taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Josh Dobbs was shown the locker room about an hour before the game started.
He finally knows everyone's name.
Yeah.
He finally knew it, but he only just now figured out where his locker is. And the Passionate came in again, and he played really well.
This is the story of the year. Like, this is the feel-good story of the year in the NFL by far. How can you not be happy for this guy right now with everything he's been through this season? And every situation he's been put into, he's stepped up. This dude is fantastic. Yes, a lot of this is momentum and adrenaline. And yes, I'm sure the other shoe is going to drop at some point. But while he's on this ride, let's all just enjoy it.
I mean, he's about to get Justin Jefferson back, so.
Can you imagine they start losing with Jefferson coming?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
He messes everything up. Everything.
Yeah.
God damn you, Justin Jefferson! Why?
But like, okay,
conversely, then.
Sorry. Yeah. No, go ahead.
No. You finish.
I said this in our chat. I really do think Josh Dobbs has a legitimate case for comeback player of the year.
I mean, since Geno established you can come back from stucking, yes, he does. On the other side, Derek Carr once again got into an accident, so we got another appearance of famous Jameis, and you know what that means?
Touchdowns and
Bakery back in business.
For every touchdown,
he had two really, really bad picks, like inexcusably bad picks.
Jameis is like the most unpredictable player to watch.
Might be the most fun too.
Oh yeah,
you never know.
Unless you're a Saints fan, in which case, like,
you want to tear your hair out.
Yeah, because like he'll have these games where I was like, oh man, you're great, you're a starter, and then you'll have games and plays and moments where we're like, what the fuck were you thinking?
Yeah, I really wish there was a Saints Colts game coming up, because if you had Jameis against Minshew, that would just be what the fuck is going to happen?
That would be amazing. But yeah, the second the offense wasn't doing anything with Derek Carr out there. Without Derek Carr, they had no chance. And also, Taysom Hill wasn't doing anything. So if you can stop Taysom Hill, you can stop anything.
At this point,
that's just the law.
That's just facts.
But yeah, look, Minnesota's season was on life support at the start of the year, but now they're 6-4, and now like in a firm reach of a playoff spot.
They are clearly in position for the 6 or 7 seed with the way the NFC is going.
Yeah.
And shit, at this point, you probably don't even need to bring Kirk Cousins back next year.
Yeah, if Dobbs does what he's doing right now, you can get him for a fraction of the cost of what you're going to get Cousins for.
Yeah.
Although he's probably going to demand Daniel Jones money.
But here's
the mistake.
Here's what I think they could do. Look, I mean, it depends on how. I really hope Dobbs is aware of who he really is.
I think he is.
I think he has to be. So if he goes and says, cool, I'm willing to play 1 year on a $20 million contract, and they draft someone later in the round.
I like that idea.
That's what if that's what they do, and he goes, look, I'm willing or say 2 years. 2 years on $20 million each year. I think the Vikings do that. I think that is a very realistic, understandable contract, and be like, yep, we are more than happy to do that. And I think it will. If he does that, and then even if he sucks for 2 years, like if he doesn't play great for the next 2 years, which I don't think he would, I think he'll actually play decently. He'll have a backup job for the rest of his life. He's done enough right now where he has a backup job forever.
He already does. He already does, I think.
Yeah. But you look, the next 3 games, they go Vikings, Bears, Raiders. They're 3 very winnable games.
Broncos, Bears, Raiders.
Broncos, Bears, Raiders, yeah.
Even better. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
We're playing our own defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, again, Minnesota in a very good spot. And I don't know. Is Jefferson coming back this week, or?
We don't know yet. I feel like.
Yeah.
They're saying it's
probably not this week.
It's likely, but not certain.
Okay.
If he does, it'll probably be restricted. Like
Yeah.
honestly, if he does, he'll be on restricted minutes.
It's going to be a Taysom Hill. Well, Jefferson. We're going Jefferson first. Jefferson's going to be on a pitch count. On the other side for the Saints, they're on bye, right?
Yes,
They're on a bye.
They're on bye.
So Derek Carr could be back by the next game, depending on the
Yeah.
severity of his injury. Moving on to our. Do you want to talk about coach of the year? I firmly believe this should go to Mike Tomlin for just his sheer. My skunks person of the week is Mike Tomlin, because look, here is the conundrum of the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are now the first team. Oh, sorry, not the first team. They're, I think, like the 7th, 8th, or 9th team to be outgained in every single one of their first 9 games. They're the first one to do it and have a winning record. Like this team confounds me, and I'm saying that as a fan. Like, I watched this whole goddamn game. I don't know what happened. I have no idea how this team keeps winning. I will say though, on the positives, defense, excellent job. Granted, I'm not that impressed with Packers offense, but you made this, like, when they needed splash plays, they got splash plays. Special teams, great block by Pat Pete. 2 very crucial interceptions towards the end of the game. Offense, actually not too bad in the rushing department. Like,
you got 2 good running backs.
Yeah, no, this is our best performance rushing the ball in a while. I can't remember somebody ran the ball this well. But yeah, Najee Harris and Jalen Warren both had great games. And this is why I say, like, people saying like bench Warren for Harris. Like, why does that have to be one or the other? Like, do both.
Yeah.
They can. We've seen from the Browns. You saw it from the Eagles last year. Like, you don't only need one running back. In fact, the best teams have multiple good running backs. Use them all.
If there's anyone we trust to make wise decisions, it's Matt Canada.
That's the thing. Look, we're 2-0 on that kind of the sideline. I'm not sure what's happening, but stay your ass down there. Pickett, look, before you say it, yes, I know. Kenny Pickett didn't play well. To be fair, didn't have to. Ground game was going so well. Just keep doing that. He only threw it like 23 times on the day, which I think the league average is like 32 plus. So, again, didn't really have to do anything. And I get it. Like, fourth quarter, that's when he shows up. Didn't show up, but again, didn't have to. Rushing attack was doing all the work. Shout out to Broderick Jones, looking like a stud. I love the way he's opening up holes to the run game. I've had it. Go ahead.
You know what pisses me off the most about the Steelers? Every other bad team that has a winning record right now, where I'm like, oh, they're bad. You just point and you go, who have you beaten? The Steelers have beaten 2 good teams. It's pissing me off. I can't even beat. Like, who have you beaten? You've beaten good teams. The Steelers are just pissing me off because they are a bad team. They are such a bad team to watch. It is awful. You watch it, you just pulling your hair.
I will defend our defense today. I die.
No, sorry. Defensively, it's incredible, and it's the only reason you guys are even remotely alive, and why I'm genuinely sitting here going, if you play the right team in the wild card, look out. But at the same time, like, this team has a ceiling. They have an absolute ceiling right now. I don't know if it's the playoffs. It very well could be if this keeps going, because you guys have because the whole AFC's just decided this year that we're all just going to lose to each other, and it's weird. The AFC is weird this year. But you guys definitely have a ceiling. I think there is no way in hell you can win a divisional game. I can't see it because
won 2 of them.
A divisional round. I mean,
divisional
round in the playoffs. I don't think this team cannot make the conference, and the only reason I say that is this team can't beat the Chiefs, and that's the one thing you would have to.
I mean, a good defense can stymie the Chiefs. That's what we have.
I know. However, that Chiefs defense will murder Pickett. Straight up murder Pickett.
Oh my god!
Their pass rush isn't like overly impressive. We have good pass blocking on certain sides of the line, so I don't think they'll murder him.
Mike,
sorry.
He's chomping at the bit.
Congratulations. You beat Jordan Love. Wow. What an accomplishment. Yeah, and you allowed Jordan Love to surprisingly look like a somewhat competent quarterback during this game. On the same token, I will say that the Steelers for the second game in a row did come out of the gates. They did. It's 2 in a row. This is what, I'm going to be constructive here.
Oh my God. I forgot to mention, we not only scored on our opening drive, we scored on back-to-back drives to open the game.
But then they remembered who they were. Kenny Pickett remembered who he was. He went and talked to Matt Canada. Matt Canada is like, you're Kenny Pickett. You're the 28th best quarterback in the league. Remember that. So then Kenny Pickett for the second and third quarter until the end of the fourth remembered who he was. And he's like, okay, I'm going to play some sub-mediocre football. And that's what we saw for the whole middle of the game, from the 20th minute until like the 50th minute of the game. That's a good half hour there. Kenny Pick Six was like, yeah, I'm Kenny Pick Six. I'm not Kenny Pickett. I'm Penny Kick Six.
I'm surprised.
Ironic considering my quarterback has less interceptions than Zach Wilson. And Josh
that's
Allen.
not an accomplishment because Zach Wilson is an atrocious quarterback, and I'm the first person to admit that. So you gotta say,
I wouldn't be talking so much if my franchise's best quarterback was Chad Pennington. So got that right now.
I take Chad Pennington over Kenny Pick Six right now.
That's a lie.
Yes,
and I also don't think he's ever thrown a pick six. So I don't understand that.
Oh, you just jinxed it. He's definitely throwing one next week.
Look. Normally, I would accompany that with a butt fumble, but you know what? This week, I will allow that because he didn't play well, but also didn't have to. Again, rushing attack literally did all the work for us.
No, the run game did look good this week. I will 100% give them that. I think the defense was a little bit of a surprise this week because for as well as Pittsburgh has played, to play like that against a team like Green Bay, who has struggled recently, was a little bit alarming.
That's the thing. And I
thought they were going to win this game by 7.
Well, that's the thing. Like, we're susceptible to chunk plays, like we said last week. Susceptible to chunk plays, but they keep teams out of the end zone. That's like the key thing. Like, sure, you can gash us for yards all you want. In fact, I think we're like the 5th worst defense in terms of yards per game. They don't allow points. That's the key thing. We're also without a good amount of key personnel. Like Cole Holcomb went out with a season-ending injury last week. Minka Fitzpatrick is still out. This week, the hits keep coming. Look, we keep winning games, but they have a cost. Quan Alexander's now out for the year. So we've now gone from 3 capable play-calling middle linebackers down to 1. And look, I like Landon Roberts. I don't love him as an every down linebacker. I feel like that's what we're going to have to do. No. So, cracks are starting to form, and I'm a little concerned. But, once we get some reinforcements back, I feel like we'll be okay. But either way, like I said, this team finds... the Chargers find strange and confusing ways to lose games. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the opposite. They find strange and confusing ways to win games.
There you go.
Moving on to our next game. Not nearly as interesting. The Tennessee Titans versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, this was probably of the 1:00 slate, the most boring of the slate. Like there was not much excitement going on here. Levis didn't really do much to qualify himself against an admittedly good Tampa Bay's got still has a fairly good defense, and they played him well in this game. Baker played fine. Like, he didn't do anything to move the needle in either direction, I don't think. Tampa Bay just played fairly basic football and just took the lead and didn't relinquish it.
Yeah. Look, remember how good Will Levis looked in his first game out against a pretty solid Atlanta front. That game might have been a mirage.
Now they have tape on him, so.
Well, now we know what he is, and now I feel like teams are getting wise to, we see what this guy's done. I'm not ready to throw out Will Levis yet, and I do think he still has the rest financially. He's a better option than Ryan Tannehill at this point.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
But also King Henry stymied by this defense. And look, if you can't get Henry going, if you're tight, you can't get King Henry going. Yeah, you're not going to win the game. That's just the reality.
But here's the thing, like the Bucks have, I think, a really underrated defense. So far this year, the Bucks' defense has actually been really solid. And I think that's a big problem with, like, people are underestimating the Bucks because, Baker. But like they've been a pretty decent team. Like they've been in every game they've lost so far outside of the Eagles one. The Eagles one was the only game where they got blown out. Every other game, they've been in it, and they've played some legitimate teams so far this year. So, like, I'm not like the Titans. The Titans are a bad football team right now.
Yeah.
I think they made a mistake. Not like I don't know if it was a mistake not trading him yet. The biggest fear you're going to have though with Henry is if he gets injured between now and the end of the season, his trade value is plummeting. But I do think this is the last season Henry plays for the Titans. I do think he gets traded at the end of this season.
Yeah, Tyjae is going to be their starter next year.
Sorry,
Tyjae Spears is going to be their starting running back.
Yeah, definitely. But I think right now the only thing for the Titans is seeing where Will Levis is. All right, just keep playing. You're evaluating Levis. And you want to make sure that is he your quarterback? Because right now, I think he's playing well enough to be given a chance next year.
Like he's better right now than Sam Howell or Desmond Ridder was last year, and they got to start this year. So why not? Why are you not going to give him an opportunity?
Next week's going to be a really good. Next week's going to be a really good opportunity for Levis because he's playing up a pretty weak defense, and he get the next two games really are like all right, Will, show us what you can do by going the Jags and Panthers, two pretty weak defenses. Let's see how he goes.
No, I do agree. And conversely though, Mike Evans is like is he the most inconsistent receiver in football right now? Just because like he'll have like these really great games and then some and somehow moments like what the fuck are you doing? Like Evans dropped an easy TD, something I very rarely see him do, which is ironic because he's gonna do it 2 years in a row now.
And like statistically, this game was very good for him, but he had that egregious.
Could have been better. Yeah.
Yeah, granted, he had one TD where he dragged like 5 Titans into the end zone with him, but he dropped an easy one. Like it was right there, he fucking had it, and then he just dropped it.
Tyler Boyd can do some counseling together.
support group for unreliable wide receivers. Next game we're talking about. Jesus, like I'll say this. Okay, maybe I'll disagree with me. Is Jacksonville the most inconsistent team in football right now?
They're the Mike Evans of NFL football teams.
Yeah, Mike Evans of football teams.
I think they're I think they're a worse Miami.
Maybe.
I mean, yeah. I mean, look, kind of like Miami. Ironic, because both play in Florida. Kind of like Miami. Like when this team is clicking, they're very hard to stop. Granted, the caveat is they're not always clicking.
But against good teams, they're not as good. Yeah,
that's the problem. No, that's my thing.
They play good.
Look. We can all kind of agree right now the Bills aren't a good team. And that was their big signature win. They beat the Bills. Look, the Steelers win is based on record a big win, but I don't think that we can all realistically look at that and say that's a really impressive win. Other than that, who have they beaten? And then who have they lost to?
Badly too, yeah.
I think, like the Texans blew them out. The Chiefs beat them. The Colts won. The Colts were in it for majority of the game until the last 2 minutes. A lot of these games have just been not very good. Same with the Saints. The Saints aren't a very good football team. The Steelers game, offensively, they're not good.
Steelers, they murdered Kenny Pickett before we got to the fourth quarter, and that's why we lost.
Sure, okay,
Uh-huh.
but like, yeah.
You know, you would have won that game.
So the Jags right now are they're only as good as their quarterback is, and right now Trevor
He
Lawrence.
ain't good.
I'm not willing to say he's not good because
Right now, he's not good. Yeah.
but he is not a top 10 quarterback. He's not the elite, sure, guaranteed thing that we all thought he would be 2 years ago. He's clearly the best from the 2021 class, but that ain't saying much. But right now, I can't say right now, CJ Stroud's playing better than him easily.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Easily. And there's quite a few, and Lamar's playing better. Mahomes, Burrow, they're all in his division. Tua's playing better than him at the moment. That's the biggest problem that the Jags are going to have going forward is Trevor needs to play better. The fumbles.
Well, in defense of Trevor Lawrence, real quick, that offensive line did him no favors.
No, it hasn't.
Chase Young.
But the fumbles are a problem. I'm gonna rip into Josh Allen later. The fumbles that Trevor Lawrence has been having so far this season and the turnovers are not good, and they've gone very much under the radar. This is starting to become a problem, and it's one that needs to be seriously addressed for the Jags. He needs to start protecting the ball more because he's just not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would agree. Compared to the Niners came off a bye and they came out swinging. Granted, again, against a very inconsistent Jags team with a offensive line who I'm convinced still thought they were on a bye week, but their defensive front played really well. They terrorized Trevor Lawrence all game. There were quite a few times where Bosa and Chase Young met at the quarterback, and I felt so bad for Trevor Lawrence at that moment. I really did.
It's going to be scary for any team who has to play the Niners now with all of that talent on defense. It's insane.
Absolutely.
With it being healthy at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Jags couldn't get anything going offensively, and the Niners defense, they look well rested, they look well prepared. They looked like, okay, look, we lost 3 in a row. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that no more. Let's go and let's get to this shit.
He also had some amazing throws because this is the game I watched.
He had a few.
He
had one that was that was bad. No, the Kittle one was his best throw of the day, and it's one of the best throws I've seen him throw.
Yeah.
The first touchdown is that one that's a bad
decision that ended up working out. Yeah,
it's one of those ones where
against better defenses you can't pull that shit.
Yeah.
No, you can't. If against the Eagles, cool. That's a pick. That is easily a pick.
Against several teams, that's a pick.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jacksonville, they got a lot of questions that they really need to start answering just because, again, we all really trust this team to go in, take their division by storm. I kind of went back on that.
I'm back 100%. I'm backing Texans. I think Texans win the division at this point.
Yeah.
Everyone's on Texans train. Again, Jacksonville, I think, still has the edge because they have the one extra win, but I think they have the talent. It's a matter of is that going to come together?
Yeah,
I think that's where we're at right now. Up next, we have the AFC North football. The Cleveland Browns taking on the Baltimore Ravens in a game that was nearly, I think, was a sneaky candidate for game of the week.
Yeah,
because this one was a nail biter too.
So
okay, it became a nail biter. Can I just say,
how did they? Yeah.
The fucking Ravens. They should be 10-0. The Ravens should be 10-0 right now. They have blown double-digit leads in the fourth quarter. All 3 games they've lost. It's a joke. Anyway, yeah, it's infuriating because like this team should be so much better than they are right now, and they just keep doing this. And
Actually, quick correction: they never had a double-digit lead on Pittsburgh.
I thought
They had a
did.
lead. No, I was as someone who was there.
Fair enough. All right. I thought they did, but that's fair. But
Wait, I'm sorry. You said fourth quarter. They had a double-digit lead, but it was in the second. They cut it before half.
okay. But that
So, okay,
that's
so you're right. You're right. Technically, yes, 3 double-digit leads. They've blown all of them.
Yep. And that is concerning. That is very concerning.
They are not a second half team whatsoever. Like, this is a team that comes out hard and fast and then just takes their foot off the gas. And on the opposite side, the Browns, who not quite nearly as good as the Ravens did in the first half, just kept fighting against a team that was rolling over. And the team that kept fighting won this game. I mean, it was justifiable that the Browns won this game based on the way they played in the second half. Baltimore should win this game at 2 to 3 touchdowns. The way they came out of the gates, if they kept their foot on the gas the whole time, they win the game soundly.
I don't know. I'm going to keep going. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm going to ask you to exit and come back in. I don't know why I let that keep going.
I was just about to say.
You sound a little robotic, Mike. So just like exit and come back in real quick. But yeah. So this is a very rough performance from the Cleveland Browns coming up. But then the second half happened, and I am not exaggerating when I say Deshaun Watson was perfect in the second half. Like literally 14 for 130 and change and a rushing TD. Like he played well in the look. Say what we will about Deshaun Watson, he played really well in the second half.
I hate the man. I hate him. I think he's
It pains us to say it.
but damn, he played well in the second half. He if he plays like this every week, the Browns are going to be a legitimately scary force in the AFC. That's like if that is the if Deshaun Watson plays like that every single week, they're going to be scary. They're a legitimately scary team, and we'll all say the Browns were justified in paying it. Now he's injured this week, apparently. Again.
Yeah, he got hurt again.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Speaking of which, look, Lamar Jackson, look, one of the best QBs in the NFL, but he had some really, really horrid passing decisions, including one that resulted in a pick six.
Yeah.
And that ultimately ended up costing the game because it put Cleveland within 1 point. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't do anything on the preceding drive. And all Deshaun Watson had to do, all Deshaun Watson had to do was drive into field goal range. He did it, and Cleveland ended up winning the game. So that's now the second divisional game Baltimore's dropped this year.
Yeah.
And I think
like
they haven't played since yet, have they?
No, that's
until
the
only
first
two in the
games,
division.
Yeah, so the first game's this week, and that's what Thursday night is a massive game. It's arguably one of the biggest games of the season so far because
100% for both teams.
Yeah. For both, it is a borderline must-win for both teams. I know Ravens have the division right now, but if they lose that game, free fall starts, and if
they lose that game, Sunday becomes way more interesting.
Yeah, it does. But we'll get to that. This again, Ravens. They really need Harbaugh needs to be better in the second half. But so does Lamar. You can't justify that was silly. That was silly football, and you need to be clever and smarter than that.
So moving on to our next game. A game that really nobody gave a shit about, except for one person who's in the chat right now. Atlanta Falcons versus the Arizona Cardinals. I say no one gave a shit about it because you could literally go to this game for under $20. That's you would pay more to park to go to this game than to actually go to this game.
Kyler,
The irony being, this is the one game I watched because it was playing when we were at the Suns game, so we were actually watching this game, and my brother-in-law is a big Cardinals fan, so he wanted to watch it.
That being said, like I said, Kyler Murray, this is his first game back in a little under a year because he tore his ACL in November. Didn't think we'd see him at all this year, if I'm being completely honest. But he is back. And you know what? I heard the new Call of Duty is not great.
He's laser focused now.
That's the only reason I can think of to why he plays this well against this team. And you look at it, he didn't even play that well, if we're being honest.
I didn't think he'd run as much as he did.
Yeah, look, I think he played very well. Kyler's not a top 10.
Okay, no,
I mean,
absolutely not.
Yeah, fair, but
He's not. He's not.
top
Dude,
half.
Kyler's playing for his job. All right. And I think it's very clear. He knows he's playing for his job right now.
Yeah.
If he wins 2 games, cool. You can't draft a quarterback because you're going to be drafting a number 4. You're going to be drafting number 4 or 5, and it's not. And at that point, they're not as good. If he plays poorly, they could get Caleb or they could get Drake, and congratulations, you're out of a job. Like, so I think Kyler knows that, and he's playing. He is playing for his job, and he knows that. He's playing pretty well. I thought he played pretty well on Sunday. I think
he played decent from and this is his first game back
for a first game back.
For a first game back. But the running was the thing that I think shocked everyone, was how much he ran.
I forgot how much I miss seeing Kyler Murray run. It's like watching a toddler who just took a big piece of candy.
Very tiny steps that he takes.
But he was and it was good. Like he played
25 yards to gain 3.
Yeah,
he did.
He did. That's the best part.
But yeah, I mean, one of the weirdest things about this, like we had a tush push in this game, but it was Clayton Tune. They sent Clayton Tune in to go get a touchdown.
Isn't that because they think Kyler might get hurt if he tries the tush push?
Exactly why. That's exactly why they put Tune in. And also, even a healthy Kyler Murray is not. Even a healthy Kyler Murray cannot squat 600 pounds.
He's too small. Yeah, don't do that.
Yes. I feel like if Kyler Murray tried that, he would get bounced off the pile and then run 20 yards to get into the end zone. He'd still get in the end zone.
Yeah.
Did you guys see so just a little off topic, but did you guys see the college team that tried to run the tush push and fumbled the ball and it was a pick, and it ended up being a return for a touchdown?
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I did not. I need to find that one.
I need to find it. Oh, I need to find that clip.
I will find. I'll pull it for the next show. On the other side, though, Taylor Heineke had to exit the game pretty early, so Leno once again had to face the horrors of Desmond Ridder.
Oh.
Yeah, once you have to rely on Desmond Ridder to win the game, it's over. You're done.
Please fire Arthur Smith.
Arthur Smith needs to be fired immediately.
So I don't know if it's the same in the NFL, but in Australian football, if the owner comes out or the board comes out and says, the coach has the full support of the board, it means he's getting fired next week. So the owner came out and said he has the full support of the owner. So I think Arthur Smith is getting fired next week.
And it's a bye week. Perfect time to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
But they will.
This is it. Mike, I don't know what's going on the internet, Mike, but you are still cutting in and out. All right, moving on to our next game. Actually, this is nice. I don't have to take any Kenny Pickett slander this week, or any extra Kenny Pickett slander this week.
He got his one in.
He got his one, and then his internet said, "Okay, that's it. That's enough." Up next, we have the Detroit Lions taking on the Los Angeles Chargers in what is basically a de facto home game for the Detroit Lions.
This could also be game of the week.
It also could have been another tight one. Another tight one. This game turned out to be a shootout, and God bless you, Justin Herbert. You tried. You really tried. And he played really good.
Brandon Staley yesterday. Holy shit.
Hey, Mike, are you going to communicate via whiteboard now?
I think he is.
Yeah, no, you're right. Sorry, you were right about Herbert. What Herbert did was incredible.
There we go, Mike. Okay. Okay. I thought you were going to like just start communicating via like notepad.
Yeah.
No, I switched to my phone.
Yep, I see that. Okay, that's cool. But you're sounding better now. But yeah, Herbert played so good. He finished the day with 323 passing yards, 4 TDs, and granted a bad pick, but 4-1. I'll take that ratio.
Mhm.
And he even got Quentin Johnston to a touchdown.
Not
and
only
it did
that.
it better.
Okay, I don't know how many of you were actually watching this game because I was doing
was.
both. Okay, but Quentin Johnson had 3 PIs. Like he had, and they were like bad ones too, like where it was like 50-50 PIs, and it was like, come on. And it was just amazing and he finally got his touchdown.
On the side of Detroit, yeah, they allowed a lot of big plays on defense because mostly a lot of bad penalties. But offensively, they could do no wrong against this Chargers defense.
You said the Steelers had 2 good running backs. The Lions might have 2 even better running backs. Good lord.
Arguably the best 1-2 punch right now.
This one too. Jameer Gibbs is
Yeah, up there.
I love Jameer
Yeah.
Gibbs.
This was a good response game from the Lions. This is a really good game from the Lions. Again, I can't read too much into it because it's one of those, hey, did you get pressure on Goff? No? Cool. Goff plays like an MVP. If you didn't, but then, were you able to pressure Goff? Yes? Cool. He plays like Jared Goff. Like, that's
Or
the
Kenny Pickett.
kind of
There it is.
that's the biggest problem right now. And the problem is the Chargers.
Years ago, we talked to Tom Moore, then at Indianapolis, the offensive coordinator.
I let it slide earlier, not this time.
But but I can't read too much into any real big victory over the Chargers right now because that defense is that awful that cool. You were able to put up a lot of points against that Chargers defense. It doesn't really have that big of an impact. So we'll see what happens when they go up against bigger teams, and we lost chance.
Oh, he's gone. So Kenny Pickett is the worst thing to happen to the NFL.
You have free reign.
Since the replacement refs.
Sorry, but I lost audio. That's why I had to jump out real quick.
Fair.
I said nothing.
I know.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you did. I will go back and watch the replay later, and you will atone for it either later in the show or next week. You know what? Because I'm sure you said something anyway.
I plead the fifth.
Okay, watch it.
Years ago, we talked to Tom Moore, then at Indianapolis, the offensive coordinator.
Children, please. Let's
yeah.
move on.
That's actually good. But Brandon Staley. I feel like every week she somehow bails about his own incompetence. This is not one of the weeks he did that. He should be fired.
He's going to be one of the 9.
He's up there.
Really badly at some point. He's going to finish out the season, and then he's going to get fired.
Yeah, I think he'd last. Then they immediately fire him after the season ends.
Yeah, he'll be a Mad Monday. But you're right. Unless there's a really bad loss, as in who do they play where there could be a really bad loss? If they get blown out by the Patriots, or actually, this could be the weekend that they actually do sack him if they have a really bad loss against the Packers.
No, yeah, I don't foresee that happening. But if it does, then yeah, I can totally see him getting fired at that point.
What kind of team lets the Packers come within 4 points of them though? You have to be really bad if you let the Packers keep you competitive.
Get out.
But like the reason why I say that is also because if they lose this weekend, I think they're out. Like that will be I think he stays the coach until they're officially out of the playoffs, and then they'll probably sack him.
All right. Up next, we have the New York Giants once again having to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Not only that, Tommy DeVito, undrafted rookie who still lives with his parents.
My hero.
Our hero, Tommy DeVito. And sorry, I need to bring in a sad New Yorker. It's the only reason you're still here, Mike. Watch it. Look, I feel for Tommy DeVito. I really do. I don't think I don't know. I don't think none of you watch Friday Night Lights, do you?
No.
Okay. So the very first episode opens with like the star QB getting hurt.
I've seen the first one. I've seen the first episode.
If the star QB getting hurt, the third string QB, who no one thought would see action, has to come in and save the day. I think what Tommy DeVito had to do, the only thing is this went so wrong because you're going against a pretty stout Dallas. And look, I don't know if this is the Dallas defense being good or the Giants just really, really sucking this year. Or a bit of both.
It's both. Yeah.
I think it's a bit of both.
Yeah.
I think it's like, look, Cowboys, congratulations. You guys can beat up on bad teams.
Yeah.
You've
They do
yet
that all
to
the
beat a
time.
good team.
Yeah.
You've yet to
Specifically,
beat a
you
good
can
team.
beat up on the Giants.
They get Carolina next week.
Yeah, I know. Then they get
They're gonna
Carolina
beat them
next
again,
week.
a bad team.
Yeah. And I don't feel too bad for Tommy DeVito. Like, I mean, look, if I got $750,000 to be the third string backup on a Giants team and suck
pay
this
rent?
bad, and not have to pay rent because I live with my parents,
And
like,
he gets chicken cutlets every night.
Exactly. He's living the life.
like I don't know. I don't feel too bad for him right now.
I mean, I feel bad for him getting murdered by Micah Parsons every other play.
That's true. Look, this wasn't a good game. Fox turned it off. So this was, I don't know how much more you could say. There's nothing you can take from this game except please, Giants, do something stupid and fire Dable because I could really use a new coach right now.
I mean, look, Dak, CD played well again. The Giants are awful, but they still played really well.
CD played like
CD's on fire
off the
right
planet
now.
well. Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
Actually,
I
the one
believe-
takeaway, sorry, that you could have is that first quarter the Cowboys weren't good. The first quarter where it was, oh, this is a close game. Could the Cowboys actually blow this? No. Oh, no.
No.
Okay, no.
We let the Giants have their
like,
fun. No,
there was a quarter of the game where it was like, how come the Cowboys haven't murdered you yet? And then, the second quarter started. There we go. Okay, we've now murdered them.
Yeah. I mean, 16 and a half points was a risky bet. I wish I had taken it because I just knew they were going to hit it. But, Jesus. Giants fans, I'm sorry. I hope you enjoyed last year. I really do.
It's going to be a while before
you
you
just
get
got to
back
listen to my bets because I'm freaking killing it this year somehow. I don't know how I'm doing it, but I'm killing it.
You're like the Pittsburgh Steelers of betting. You don't know how you're doing it, but you're doing it.
Yeah, actually,
Exactly.
that actually is true.
I just didn't bet this week. Like this week, I decided to take off. I'm just like, hey, I'm good. Up next, again, another nail biter. Washington Commanders versus Seattle Seahawks. This game was so close. It nearly bled into Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, this went for a long time, and the
Dude.
red zone had to cut it off. Actually,
Yeah,
They did
red
because it
zone.
ran over.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it was the sole game left. Yeah.
Geno Smith is like a weird conundrum because he'll play really well half the time. The other half, not so much.
I don't think it's that weird of a conundrum when you look at the teams. He plays really poorly against the good defenses and plays really well against the bad defenses.
No, I mean, in the
wonder
same
why.
game, even in the same game, he'll play I'll have 3 really great plays followed by 3 really what the fuck are you doing, Geno plays.
Somehow
This game,
okay.
this
Sorry, go.
game, I didn't watch any of this game, so there's not a whole lot. I really the Suns game had started by the time that I was watching. This game was on. I just saw that the highlights. So from what I saw, yeah, it
Sam
was
Howell
close.
looks good.
Yeah, it did look good.
Yeah, it looks good.
Bieniemy, I hope you enjoy being the coach of Washington Commanders next year. 'Cause, yeah, Rivera's gone. So, other than that, that was that's my big takeaway from this game. I didn't watch.
They've slowed down the sacking of Sam Howell. Only got sacked 3 times this game, and that's an improvement. That is an improvement. The defense couldn't really look. Like, it's no shock the defense couldn't get anything going, considering they just traded away 2 of their best players. So I firmly believe I'm not going to take a quarterback. I believe they're firmly in the market for like a good piece for the front 7 in the draft next year. I'm a little confused about what happened to Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker was so good last year. He's just not been it this year.
It might. I know Charbonnet got more snaps this week. They didn't use him quite as much, like in actual plays, but he was on the field more than him, which is alarming.
I feel like Walker's always on the injury report as well, so maybe there's lingering injuries.
Maybe we'll see. But yeah, again, this is another one of those games that ended in a buzzer beater at the wire. But we're not gonna spend too much time on this game. Like I said, this mostly because there are 2 games I really want to get to. One of which is Sunday Night Football.
Oh, here we go.
Let's talk about your boys, Mike. Let's talk about it. But hey, it wasn't his worst game.
And that is a direct quote.
Second week in a row, he's used that quote.
Yeah, okay. In case you didn't know, so there's a movie called Grand Piano. It's actually written by Damien Chazelle.
Yeah.
It's about Elijah Wood. He plays a concert pianist, and John Cusack's a hitman who will literally shoot him on stage if he plays one wrong note. I feel like the Jets brass had to have hired a hitman to follow Saleh, and if you say one bad thing about Zach Wilson, he will be shot on sight. Because nobody who does football for a living can watch Zach Wilson do what he's doing and say, you know what, that's our guy.
So here's the thing, watching the game is you watch the game and Zach made in the entirety of the 60 minutes, he had about 4 or 5 what I would say are competent decisions. He had 2 or 3 runs that I was like, okay, he made the right decision by running there. And he had 2 throws that were in the middle of the field, from the 40 to the 50. I'm like, okay, that was a competent throw. The rest of that game, he was absolute ass. He made Kenny Pickett look like a competent NFL quarterback.
I mean, Kenny Pickett is a competent NFL quarterback, but that's not even there. But talking about the Jets real quick, God, I feel bad for that defense. I really do.
That's the big takeaway from this, because the scores in this game came from the touchdowns came from a punt return, so that's on special teams. That's not on the defense, and the jump ball with the tight end who had 5 inches over the defensive back. So that is literally the only 2 reasons that the Raiders scored in this game. Yes, Josh Jacobs did establish a bit of a run game, which is a little bit of a alarming considering the Jets have been so well at that all year. But you're talking in the grand scheme of things, the Raiders just had 2 or 3 favorable breaks and the Jets couldn't capitalize. The rest of the game, the Raiders scored 16 and the Jets could not match it.
Jets haven't scored a touchdown in 3 weeks.
11 quarters.
11 quarters, almost 3 weeks.
So nearly 3 entire games.
Oof. Rough.
And the last touchdown was a broken dump pass to Breece Hall. It wasn't even a red zone play or anything. It was a broken coverage pass to Breece Hall against the Giants.
Yeah.
I said last week that there is something going on behind the scenes about why Zach Wilson is still the quarterback. And right now, the start of the year, I said there was a chance Robert Saleh could get fired. And then once Aaron Rodgers got injured, went, okay, that's all over. No, he'll get it. He'll get a chance no matter what. I don't know at this point. If Robert Saleh is the one keeping Zach Wilson, like if it's Robert Saleh's
I
choice,
highly doubt that. But yeah.
which I'm
Right.
doubting,
Yeah.
he's going to get fired. But here's the other thing.
Rodgers is going to come back. I'm just kidding.
Saleh could be the scapegoat of
Yeah.
it all. Like
Yeah, you
they
could.
could make Saleh he was the one who wanted to keep Wilson and fire him anyway. So
It's
think
not
there is
Saleh. It's got to be Douglas. It has
It's
to be the
gotta be.
GM.
It has to be at this
Higher up.
point.
It
They don't
has
want
to
to
be
make
the
it
GM.
wrong.
Like you do not go from benching a guy 3 times in the same season to saying like this is our guy and we're sticking with him within the span of like under a year. That just doesn't happen.
Especially with and I understand. Look, at the point of time, maybe trading for Josh Dobbs wasn't a thing, but like,
Find
given
somebody. Yeah.
someone
Anyone.
else,
Anyone.
anyone, like
We said it weeks ago. Like, go get somebody. Call Carson Wentz. Call Matt Ryan.
Yeah, the
do
Rams.
something.
The Rams were smart. And
Yeah.
yeah,
did
the
something,
Rams
yeah.
got themselves a backup just in case. Like, look, Carson Wentz might not even see a snap,
Right.
but he's there in case Stafford gets injured
Yeah.
again.
Exactly.
Like, this is just absolute incompetence.
Yeah.
The players meeting today. Oh, this is
Players
gonna
only
start
meeting.
blowing up.
No.
This
boy.
is gonna blow up, and it's gonna get ugly, and it's going to be real, real bad. And unfortunately, Aaron Rodgers ain't coming back. Like I know he
What?
keeps
But he
saying
sounds-
mid-December.
He sounds
Yeah,
so
he's not
convincing.
he said it's going next September.
Yeah.
Or
he's
sorry,
not coming
November.
That magical
He is
healing
not-
medicine he's applying.
Yeah,
Look,
he's not
if
coming
Aaron,
back.
look, here's the thing. Putting on my tinfoil hat for a second.
Oh,
If Aaron
God.
Rodgers comes back before the end of the season,
Oh my god.
either A, we've all severely underestimated ayahuasca, we should all take it immediately.
Exactly.
Or B, and this is like real like tinfoil hat Aaron Rodgers conspiracy stuff. What if he didn't actually tear his Achilles? Because like
He fooled
there were
actual doctors.
no. This was a ploy. So so he could screw over the Packers one more time. Not
They
get
just
the
put
first
it
round
out
pick.
there that he tore his Achilles. Got it. Okay.
Yes. And granted, we all saw footage of his Achilles being plucked like a guitar string.
It
But-
snapped. You saw it
We
happen.
saw it happen.
Or did
This is a
we?
conspiracy.
Maybe they got James Cameron to come in and digitally alter the footage to make it look
I
like
wish I had control to drop you off this screen right now.
Leave it a chance to be the conspiracy theorist in this. Yeah, he's
Aside from the Jets, are we all in agreement that Antonio Pierce is getting the Raiders job next year?
no.
I think so.
I think he
I
needs to
think
win a
so.
couple more.
I think he is.
I
has a lot
I
of
do
them.
not trust Mark Davis to make the right decision with coaching.
This is
personnel,
Versace
so.
all over again.
That's
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
why that is
That's why he
I
might actually
think.
keep him.
Sorry,
Yeah, he might keep
I
him.
agree with
Sure.
you, Chance. Except he acknowledged he made a mistake with Rich. He's actually acknowledged that, and I think that if Antonio Pierce, look, heaven forbid they make the fucking playoffs
Yeah,
because
good
they're
luck,
still
can you imagine?
alive. There's I will be shocked if he does it. I think Antonio Pierce gets this job next year.
There's
I
an
think-
energy. There's an energy
There
behind this team
is.
right now that wasn't
They
there.
like playing for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like look at look at Adams. Adams in the last 2 games, he was on borderline suicide watch at the end of that game. And now these last 2 games, you would think he'll sign a 10-year contract with them. Like honestly, like you're at the point of like he'll be a Raider for life now. Fuck Derek Carr. He wants to just play with the Raiders right now. Like I at this point, that's where they're at. And this team, the Raiders, look, they're in for a rough rebuild. They're in for a real rough couple of years. But I think Antonio Pierce is the right coach for him. We're going to grind this out. It's going to suck. It's going to be real tough. But we've got the people here that we can win games, and I think that's where they're at.
No, absolutely. I mean, like we'll see if he actually ends up coming back next year. Like I said, I don't fully trust Mark Davis to make a right decision regarding coaching personnel. It could happen. Who knows? But yeah, Jets. Man, I went back and watched a prediction special. I put it out there. I was rooting for this team. Granted, Aaron Rodgers had a lot to do with that.
I mean, no one
But
thought
I
Aaron
was
Rodgers would
rooting
last 4 plays.
that's 85 seconds.
All the predictions were out the window.
I mean, but yeah, we didn't think Aaron Rodgers would last shorter than most of our times losing our virginity. That is how it went down. Mike, anything you want to say before we send off the Jets?
Kenny Pickett's a bad quarterback.
Again, I was rooting for your team. I don't relish your team doing. I don't relish your team doing badly.
Kenny Pickett's a bad quarterback, but god damn it, he'd take him right now.
Yeah,
I'd take Mitch right now.
Okay, but you can have Mitch. You got to take that candidate too.
No.
You can get Nathaniel Hackett. How about that?
Actually, that's one last thing about the Jets.
Hackett in it.
Oh my god! Like we thought, well, like last year. Oh, is it Russell? Is it? Oh god, no! It's Hackett. Holy crap! Is it Hackett?
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit! Was it Hackett? Hackett's a bad coach. Like a bad coordinator, bad coach. This and Rodgers has to wear this.
Yeah,
Rodgers has to wear a part.
He only
of
has
this
because Rodgers likes him.
Exactly.
Yep.
Like it's a bad. Like look. The receiving core is bad. Like outside of Wilson, that receiving core is awful.
Awful.
It's absolute but it's all built around Rodgers. And that is the problem. They built this team for Aaron Rodgers
and had no backup.
And then there was never a there was never a plan B. Just never.
You know this is this is the post Andrew Luck Colts. Like you had a team that was built for Andrew Luck, and literally nobody else could. No matter who they threw in there, no one can make that team work.
It didn't work.
Yeah. So
Jacob, I know why you want to go back to the Jets because you really don't want to talk about this next game.
This is what everyone's been waiting for.
Broncos versus Buffalo Bills. People is what y'all been waiting for. Jacob,
look,
what was yours? He's set up. He's set up.
Today, we made Dorsey the scapegoat for this team. Dorsey was not the problem.
No.
I haven't liked him as an OC. Don't get me wrong. Like I have problems with him as an OC. But he was not the problem. He was not why we lost this game. He was not why we have lost 5 fucking games this season. The problem with this team right now, and it's not Josh Allen. It is the coach. It is Sean McDermott. McDermott needs to go. We need a new head coach. We need new blood coming into this team. Allen has not been good this game. He was not good in this game. I am not going to defend Allen for this game. This and the Jets game. They're the 2 games that Allen is 100% to blame for the Jets game. He's about 95% of the Patriots game, and this game he's about 80%. The rest has sorry.
So he's getting better.
He's slowly getting better. The rest, he has been very good. Like his numbers are incredible. He still has the most touchdowns out of any player this year. He is still one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. I don't care what anyone says. He is. Mm-hmm. The problem that this team had, that last play, what is so infuriating about that last play is he played it perfectly. McDermott did it perfect. He had everything about it was absolutely perfect. He had forced Denver to run to use all their timeouts and then forced them because for some reason they were like, no, we're not going to give you the ball back with any time, even though the way Buffalo had been playing, they weren't going down and winning that game. It wasn't going to happen. But Peyton was so convinced, he was like, nope, I'm going to just be really dumb and force my kicker to kick with 13 seconds instead of giving him time to actually set and get ready. And what did he do? He missed. And then instead, we have fucking 12 men on the field. That's coaching. That is on McDermott. That is 100%. You've got to be better than this. And at this point, I went through history. We have not hit on any of our draft picks, like any of them outside of Kincaid. Kincaid right now is playing okay. I think he's been decent as a tight end, and I think, yeah, cool. I'm happy we got Kincaid. Kincaid's doing well enough. We've not drafted well. Our free agency pickups have not been good outside of Diggs, and the Diggs one has this big giant caveat of, cool, we got Diggs and gave up Jefferson. The pick that the Vikings used, the pick that we gave the Vikings was Jefferson. So we could have had Jefferson and not had to give Jefferson the giant ass contract that we gave Diggs. And that's the infuriating part. Because we have such a defensively minded coach, he's invested. It's the Staley problem, but it's not as bad as Staley because the defense has actually gotten better, whereas in that one's gotten bad. He's invested all of the money into this defense. And unfortunately this year, the defense has just absolutely been horrid and been decimated because of injuries. But the last 2 seasons, the defense hasn't stood up. The defense has been a big problem. And so what did he do? At the end of last year, he fired Frazier. I'm going to take control of the defense. This year, he's fired Ken Dorsey. There's one person left, guys, and they're not going to get rid of the quarterback. They can't. They're tied to Allen for another 2. They're tied to Allen for another 3 years. All right. Now, I do not want to get rid of Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a very good player, and I love watching Josh Allen play. He needs an offensively minded coach. I don't know who we're going to go get. My biggest fear is that we're going to get Harbaugh. That's honestly one of my single biggest fears right now. That because of all this shit going on.
Go get Adam Gase and like it.
No. But yeah, because of all this shit going on with Michigan, we're gonna take Jim Harbaugh because he's gonna want to come in. But right now, that's where we're at. I think we're not making the playoffs. We are a team that is struggling because we have a defensive-minded coach who is great at rebuilding teams but isn't able to take you that step further. And that's what we need. We need a coach who is going to take you that step further. I don't know who that is. I keep saying Ben Johnson for the Chargers. Fuck the Chargers. I want him. But
I'm gonna put that out Santa Taylor.
Yeah, I've already told her that. But that's where I'm at right now. It's one of those. We're at a point where, like I said, if I can get Daboll back, Daboll coming back would be the single greatest thing in the entire world. And I'm really praying. I'm praying every night that the Giants do the single dumbest mistake they could possibly do by sacking Daboll, because he would have
dumber
a
than
head
paying
coach
Daniel
job.
Jones.
Sorry?
Dumber than paying Daniel Jones.
He didn't pay that.
I know. I'm saying the Giants.
The Giants as a whole. The Giants as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be dumb. Firing Daboll would be dumber than paying Daniel Jones. If they fired Daboll, I would be over the moon.
Would Ryan be the first coach to be fired the year after winning Coach of the Year?
And then go to another team and probably win another Coach of the Year. Because if he comes back to the Bills, he probably wins Coach of the Year again.
And that's a roller coaster.
But yeah.
Okay. So I will say, let me just say, first of all, the fucking irony of as much shit we talk about Russell Wilson and Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos, that's the team that has potentially ended your season.
Not potentially, they have. I am sorry.
Let me finish. Russell Wilson played pretty well in this game. First of all, this game, he had a fucking excellent touchdown pass to Cortland Sutton.
Ooh. Even better catch. Yeah.
Even better catch. By the way, Russell Wilson now has the two most improbable touchdown passes of the next-gen stats era. One was Cortland Sutton, one was Tyler Lockett a couple years back. He's the only person. He's the only person to have two passes, I think, under 5% completed. Look, I will say, look, the thing that killed you most in this game. We talk about Jameis Winston's turnover bakery.
Yeah.
Josh Allen has a chain of turnover bakeries. Now Apple turnovers. He counted for 3. One pick was not his fault. Gabe Davis, you got to catch that. Second pick, definitely his fault.
Second one's bad. The second one was really bad.
At the end of the half, too. Yeah.
Botched handoff, kind of mostly on him.
It's slipped out of his hand. Like the ball was out of his hand before it got to Cook.
Yeah.
No, dude. By the way, Cook, look, when the Bills fumbled on the very first play of the game, that's how I knew shit. And it's James Cook, a guy whose very first carry in the NFL was a fumble.
Yep. Again, haven't hit. Like James Cook, we didn't hit on. Like I don't think we've hit on James Cook. I think he's a very mediocre running back.
He then fumbled again on a really long run. That was really funny.
But I have never seen a football player dribble to themselves like the basketball.
That was genuinely amazing. That one was genuinely.
He didn't even break stride. He just picked it up. And
I know.
he got faster after the fumble.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, Josh Allen did a lot to try and salvage this team. Granted, he put his team in some really shitty spots, like the turnaround at the end of the second half, inexcusable, because it did allow them to go up by 15-8. Which, fun fact, the last time that's would be a first half scoregami, but it did happen in like the mid 90s. Funny enough, also Denver versus Buffalo, and Denver did win that game too.
There you go.
Now look. Is the Bills' season over?
Not technically.
No.
Not technically.
Here's why I say that. The Bills are currently 5-5. Not awful. Look, if
expectation-wise, it's
if it's wide open, but I'm saying, look, if they run the table in the next couple of games, they're in the playoffs. If they win, if they win 6 of their next 7 games, probably in the playoffs. If they win 5 of their next 7 games, that's tough, but they could still make it.
Have you seen their schedule?
I want to finish. Here's the problem. Some of their next opponents include the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, the Chargers, which I know is weird to say the Chargers, but you're facing a top 5 quarterback with a depleted defense, and Miami. In Miami. So that's tough.
That's not even the one I'm actually worried about. I'm worried about next week because we can't fucking beat them.
No, the Jets, yeah.
I was gonna say the Jets, but look, and look, this is where the Bills kind of bite themselves in the ass because like a lot of these games that they dropped early, they kind of needed to win.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Got to build a cushion.
There are 3. Like, look, there's 3 games that Josh Allen lost us, and I'm like, was a contributing factor in us losing. The Jets won, 100% on him. The Patriots won, and the Broncos won. All 3 of them we should have won. The Jags one, I'm not that mad at because we lost that one no matter what. All right, and then the Bengals one, we just can't beat the Bengals. Like, oh shit, we can't beat the Bengals.
They're your regular season Chiefs. You can't beat them in the regular season.
We can beat we can beat the Chiefs in the regular season.
No, I'm saying like they're what the Chiefs are in the postseason to you in the regular season. You can't beat them in the regular season.
Yeah. But we win those 3 games. We're top of the we're top of the conference right now. We're the second best team in football. Yeah. And we were winning all 3 of those games. We should have won all 3 of those games, and we just slipped them away. And it's infuriating. It's just Oh, I'm so annoyed. I was very annoyed last night.
I was just
You
confused.
know-
Like,
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Con.
I was confused because the Broncos kicked like a field goal as time was running out at the end of the first half, and the Bills didn't have 11 men then. But at the end of the second half, they do the same thing, and they have 12 men. So what happened?
The ironic thing is
It's
the
the
Bills
same
could have
thing.
The Bills could have had 5 guys on
Yeah,
the last
and we
play,
would have won.
and they would have won.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
you
I don't know
wanna-
why.
uh,
I don't know why you're switching out personnel. Like, just leave your fucking defense out there.
That's the thing that that's the thing that drives that I'm going. This is 100% on coaching.
Yeah.
We had it was very clear they were kneeling, and
Right.
we had been and he
And then you have
played
to
it
switch out quickly. Yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah.
He had played it absolutely perfectly. Of like, nope, I'm kneeling. You're not going to have enough time left on the clock. You're going to have to either do a rush or you're just going to kick it and we get the ball back. He had played it absolutely perfectly. So why are you not just putting your defense on the field? Why are you not just putting the field goal defense or just leaving your defense? Like, it's a field goal. He's going to be rushed into 13 seconds to kick a field goal. Like, it wasn't. It was bad coaching. Really, really bad decision making.
There's usually
It was
someone
Mike
on the-
McCarthy-esque.
Yeah. There's usually 11 players, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he
Fire that guy.
I don't- he didn't count himself, so
Exactly. There you go.
Did you know what
He-
the you know who the 12th player was?
That's what I saw.
Damar Hamlin.
It was Damar
Mark Hamlin.
It was Hamlin.
Don't put it on him.
I know.
He died for your
He
sins.
suffered enough. Oh boy.
Oh boy. Yeah. Is Damar Hamlin a false prophet? He died, came back. He died, came back, and now he is not delivering.
Jesus
I guess Damar Hamlin.
You know how he's not getting on. Again, like, yeah, just again, haven't hit, and this team need. I said it at the start of the season. It's what I'm so frustrated by. Like, I said it at the start of the season. We weren't going to make the playoffs. We aren't. We 13 seconds destroyed this team, and we need a full-on restart. I think we lose Diggs in the offseason. I think we are going to end up having to trade Diggs. I think we're going to have to trade Von Miller somehow. I don't know who's going to take him with that contract. We're just going to have to maybe pray that he retires. Maybe.
I think you can cut him out. You probably can't offload him just because I think his contract's voidable after next season.
Yeah,
So you could offload him if you could trade him if you really wanted to.
yeah.
Probably only have to pay like half or like 2/3 of his salary for next season.
Yeah, but that's like we are in for a real rough postseason. The one, like I said last week, the one saving grace, we won't have to play the first, like the number 1 seed division teams like we have to for the last 3 fucking years. So why not to play the Chiefs next year? That's going to be good.
And I will say, like, these next few weeks are gonna be like very telling for the future of the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
We'll get into more of that later, but like that's.
I think we're going 2-6. 2-6. I think we're going 2-6.
Meanwhile, I'm over here 6-3 and saying we're still going Super Bowl. Somehow.
All right.
Hey, we find ways. We find ways. All right. Up next, we have our Week 11 predictions / stunks or not stunks on a bye this week. We have the Falcons, the Colts, the Patriots, and the Saints. All right. Moving on Thursday Night Football. Look, Amazon, you got hoed a lot this year. This one, holy crap! I am looking forward to this game. The Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Baltimore Ravens.
Biggest game of the year for both teams. This is an absolute must-win for both of them. Bengals especially. It's really, they have to win this game. This is going to be a very big deciding factor on, all right, Bengals, are you back? Bengals lose this game. I don't think they can. I think they're going to struggle to make the playoffs. They're really going to struggle to make the playoffs. They're going to have to be basically perfect from here on in. If the Ravens lose, then Sunday becomes a massive game.
Yeah, we'll talk about Sunday if the Ravens lose.
But not only that, if the Ravens lose, suddenly not only is Sunday a massive game, suddenly there's a chance the Ravens miss the playoffs. That's how tight the AFC North is. Like at the moment, it's insane. So I'm going Bengals in a shootout in a really close game, but I wouldn't be surprised if either of them win.
I'm actually going Ravens on this. I'm going to go Ravens on this one. I think that their quarterback pressure is going to be enough. If the Bengals don't have Higgins, they're going to be a one-dimensional offense because it's going to be going to Jamar Chase the majority of the time. I think the Ravens defense is enough to stifle Burrow into making mistakes. If the Ravens play a full game, they win this game dominantly. If they do what they've been doing recently, they barely squeak it out. But I'm going to go with the Ravens.
Gone.
It's very much a coin flip, but I think I'll go Ravens just barely because the better defense.
Okay, well, everyone mark this day. I'm going for the Bengals. Look, Joe. I said a lot of things about you in the past couple of weeks, couple of months, past year. Most of it deserved. All of it deserved. But I need you to go into Baltimore and beat this team. And I know you can do it. I believe in you, Joe Cool. You're gonna do it. You're gonna go in, you're gonna beat the Ratbirds. Cincy all the way. Now for Stonks, the Stonks meter. Let's throw out Action Jackson.
Yeah, Stonks.
I like him in this game. He's going to run the ball a lot, being a short week.
He has to play good if they're going to win. Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I'm not looking forward to if the Bengals lose this game. I'm never going to hear the end of it because Chance is never going to forgive Joe Burrow.
I already never forgive Joe Burrow, but I think especially if
the Steelers win. Like if the Steelers win and then the Ravens also win, he's never gonna forgive Burrow.
Oh no.
Now speaking of Pittsburgh, yeah. So look, if the Ravens lose on Thursday, then Pittsburgh versus Cleveland is for the division lead in a very, very tight division.
Yeah.
This is also Kenny Pickett's first game in Cleveland. Never played a game in Cleveland.
Nice lettering on the.
This is right now. You can get Steelers at +4. I think it's a must take. I think that is a must bet this week. This game is going to come down to a field goal. I think it's going to be a Browns field goal. Personally, I think Browns sneak this one out.
It heavily depends on if Deshaun even plays. But yeah,
I think Deshaun plays.
That's true.
Yeah. But this is one that I think it is absolutely less than 4 points. So you bet Steelers +4.
I got Myles Garrett setting the NFL record for sacks in a game.
7.
And Kenny Pickett will also establish a new turnover record. I got the Browns 71-20, just so they can get one more than the Dolphins did.
If anyone's going to score 71, it's the Browns.
Yeah, if anyone's going to score 21, it's 70. It's 71. It's the Browns with no Nick Chubb.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll check in the record. So the record for sacks in the game is 7 by Derek Thomas.
Right. Khalil Mack almost matched it. Yeah.
Khalil Mack almost did.
Yeah.
I'm actually very curious to see how. Actually, before I get my soapbox, I'll go to Khan.
Another coin flip. That's just, I guess, the way the AFC North is.
Yeah, it is.
I'll go Steelers barely because of they have 2 really good running backs. I'll go there. Also, probably
okay.
Yeah.
What I'm curious about is as to how. I feel like we're gonna get a Broderick Jones versus Myles Garrett matchup. That I'm actually very interested to see. Because I feel like, he's getting like this is gonna be like the biggest test Broderick Jones has had in his career. I don't think he's faced an edge rusher at the caliber of Myles Garrett just yet. So thinking about the games he's played, look, this game is going to be ugly. It's going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight. However, looking at the injury report for the Browns, if Deshaun Watson doesn't play, DeJuan Jones also might not be playing. There's a chance that we get Minkah Fitzpatrick and Pat Freiermuth back this week. I think like the window for Pat Freiermuth to activate, so he could return this Sunday.
Did they activate him? Is he still on IR?
They haven't activated him yet.
They haven't activated him yet, but he's in the 21-day window, so they can activate him this Sunday if they want to.
Yeah.
Right.
So looking at this is gonna be tough. Look, I'm backing my boys. I'm backing my boys because I like us against Cleveland. I really do. But oh god, I'm nervous. God,
this game's gonna age you.
This is the biggest game of the year for you guys so far.
So
I think
far,
because of the implications.
If the Ravens lose, if the Ravens lose,
then yes, this is our biggest game of the year.
This is look. That's actually going to be our big thing. What is Pickett like when the stage is on him?
Shit.
He's like he's gonna have.
That's a fucking lie. That's a fucking lie. Like
we've not seen it.
He's here to deliver. He delivers.
No, but we've not seen it where go out, win this
game-winning drives
for something.
Yeah.
All right. We've
Well,
seen.
I will push back on that a bit because he did have several game-winning drives where they needed to win to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, but I'm more meaning.
I see what you mean. I understand what you mean. Like, he's never had to play for something this significant.
Yeah, that's. I think that's a
last
big
season
deal.
he had to lead a bunch of drives to survive. Like this time he has to lead a drive to lead his team to prominence. And I believe
you're playing for match.
Shut the fuck up.
You even know what he's gonna say. Just cut it off.
I don't care. Because this game's gonna come down to a last-minute drive by Kenny Pickett, and he's gonna deliver. And he's gonna deliver the Pittsburgh Steelers to first place in the AFC North. Calling in now. All right.
Hold it in, Mike. Hold it in.
I mean it, and I really mean it this time. Steelers, stunks. Everyone else, not stunks. All right, up next we have nope. It's it. Nope. Not least for your propaganda on my show.
Put it in the private
chat. The Chicago Bears versus the Detroit Lions. Oh god, this game's gonna be. I feel bad for BLD. I'm sorry. Nope.
He's playing for Canada. Oh, I see.
Okay.
That's a factual statement.
That is a factual statement. No, I'll allow that.
All right.
PLD, Peggy, my boy Thomas. Lickers to the left. You're gonna need it.
Yeah, this one's gonna be ugly.
Ugly.
Gonna be
Even
ugly game.
Even if Fields
Yeah,
plays.
Detroit takes this one soundly.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah.
I was about to say, it's Fields, Fields might come back for this one.
We still don't know.
I honestly might just leave him on the bench.
Leave him out. We're gonna lose anyway. Just put Bajan in again.
D-bag.
The only reason you start putting Fields back on, and not for this game, because no matter what, the only reason Fields starts playing is we try and trade value. You try and
audition for other teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, does anybody want to take Chicago?
No.
God no.
Okay, fair enough.
And now we're gonna win.
Now for this game, I'm gonna go a bit of a wild card. Mr. Mick Oreo Burke Cheeseburger Man, Jameson Williams.
Not stonks. She's always not stonks.
No.
God no.
No.
Not even against this Bears defense.
There's a reason they traded for Donovan Peoples-Jones. It's because they.
All right. Up next, the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Green Bay Packers. The two head coaches that feel like they're both fighting for their jobs.
Listen, this is going to be a team that shows how you're supposed to beat the Green Bay Packers. So I'm going to take the Chargers doing what a team is supposed to do when you're playing a team as awful as the Packers and dominating them and not letting them have a last second drive.
I wouldn't necessarily say that because it is the Chargers defense.
It's also
But,
Yeah, the Chargers defense.
but I do
think
think
domination-
I trust Herbert a lot more.
Look, Chargers have been beating up on bad teams, and that's what I think they're going to be able to do this time. The Packers are a bad football team. They are a very bad football team, and yeah, I think you're right. This is the congratulations, coaches. You're not going to be on this team next year.
You think LaFleur's gone after this year?
Yeah,
most likely. Yeah,
I think so.
most likely.
I think they I think they give him like at least part of next season. Like I could see him getting fired after week
maybe
6
one,
if they really suck
maybe
next
one more
season.
year, maybe.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see what the record is at the end of the year.
Yeah. For this game, you know what? Because Herbie finally learned that this man exists. Quentin Johnston.
He's gonna go right back to sucking.
It's all Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
Not stonks
Keenan Allen got
because-
banged up, so maybe.
because I have to put him on fantasy, and for some fucking reason, yeah.
Don't trust Quentin Johnson to go off, but he might.
No. Up next, we have the Las Vegas Raiders going to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Actually, the first away game of Antonio Pierce's young head coaching career.
I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed.
I'm about to say, yeah. I hope you enjoy the 2-0 start because that's about to come to a crash.
Rested Miami.
I think it's going to be. Look, I think it's going to be a little closer than we're expecting because I do think.
Maybe.
No, okay. I think Tua is going to get pressured a lot.
Crosby.
I think Crosby's going to have
And
a
Spillane.
very good game.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it's just Tyreek Hill is just going to.
Yeah, their offense cannot keep up with Miami.
And it's the early slate. The early slate going about as far across the country as you can go. This is the Dolphins.
They might get H.
Dolphins win it, but Dolphins win, but I don't think it is the annihilation 30-point blowout that
It's a 10. I think a 10-point win for the Dolphins. Though.
Yeah, I think double digits.
Vegas currently has it at 12.5 points, and I think it's too many points. I'm not willing to touch that one.
All right. Let's throw. I think Okay, I'm not gonna throw out HN because I don't think he's like officially.
We don't know if he's
officially
coming back.
activated.
We don't know if he's
back.
If he does, though, watch out.
Yeah. So I'll throw out Raheem Mostert.
Yeah, he's gonna have a
He'll
good
still
game.
do well. Yeah, he'll still do well.
He's still gonna catch 4 or 5 balls even if HN's there. So I
If
like
they
him.
both play. Yeah, they'll do well.
All right. Up next, we have the New York Giants taking on the Washington Commanders.
Unwatchable game of the week.
I'm about to
They
say
already
the
played like
front
2
row
weeks
game
ago.
of the
Was
week.
unwatchable.
This is another one of my bets that I think you can get. So Giants are at 10 points at the moment. I would take Giants at 10 points.
Real quick, hi to Nancy in the chat. Yes, we're still on. Jacob had a lot to say about the Bills.
Yeah.
Let him have the podium.
we let him have the subjects.
No, I've got look. They always play the Commanders tough. These two play each other tough every single time. It's an NFC East game. You can make some real money with Giants at 10+.
I think the Commanders are going to take.
I think Commanders still win.
Yeah,
Sorry,
they
I
still
said
win.
Commanders still win, but it's
It's not below it, right?
but it's within a field. I think it's within 7
One
points.
score. Yeah, one score.
All right. Let's bet on the couch surf. The couch surfer. Mom has to make his sandwiches for lunch after practice. Tommy DeVito.
You know what? I actually think I think he has a decent game. A decent game for Tommy DeVito. Because that Washington
He's got
defense
100
is
passing yards?
fucking god.
100 passing yards, right?
75.
100 passing yards and maybe a touchdown.
Okay, so are we
No.
saying stunks for Tommy DeVito?
No.
Okay, that's not for Tommy
As much as it
DeVito.
pains me to not root for someone from Illinois.
Sorry, Tommy. Up next, game that none of us are looking forward to just because we have to deal with Dallas fans for another week.
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys versus Carolina Panthers. Carolina, I'm so sorry.
It's a massacre.
Yeah.
This one's bad. This
At
one's
least
a massacre.
What's the spread on this game?
10.5.
What?
Oh, take Dallas.
Take Dallas.
I don't like double digits. I just do not like.
In this case, I would.
double digit underdog.
I'm a
don't
con on
like
this one. Take Dallas.
I know.
Carolina couldn't even beat the Bears.
It's very likely that it does happen, but yeah, I haven't picked it as one of my 5, and I'm probably going to regret that. But yeah, Dallas wins easy though.
Easy.
Yeah. Now, throughout the season, there has been a consistent battle on the football field. It's Tony Pollard versus the end zone. So Tony Pollard is he stonks for this week.
No.
At this point, you can't trust it. Yeah. Until he actually does it, you can't.
So he actually scores.
Yeah.
All right. Really enough, this actually is a must-win game for both parties, actually. Tennessee Titans versus Jacksonville Jaguars. This is more must-win for Jacksonville because they need to start gaining ground in their division with Houston right on their heels.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee needs to try and see if they can stay competitive. So it's more must-win for Jacksonville than Tennessee, but must-win for both.
I think that Tennessee keeps this close, but Jacksonville is going to take it at the end.
I wouldn't. I think. No, fuck. I'm going the upset. Titans win this one.
Ooh.
Why is that?
I just think. Look, I do think Jags are going to bounce back, but I think Derrick Henry's going to run on that defense, and I think it's going to give Levis time to get the ball to Hopkins.
Yeah. I could see an upset, but I think Jacksonville wins because they want to prove themselves after getting humiliated.
All right. For this one, I'm going to throw out Travis Etienne.
I like him.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Bounce back.
All right, stunks. Up next, the Arizona Cardinals versus the Houston Texans. I mean,
this could be good. This could be good.
This could be good. Granted, Arizona wins no matter what.
That's true.
Because they have, again, much like Chicago, Carolina last week, they have both these draft picks.
You can get.
Only thing is now,
Cardinals.
could they want to win to make their draft pick better?
It's true.
This was. I'm really nervous about touching this game because Houston are -4, and that just screams they're begging you to bet Houston.
They lost to Carolina. We still don't really know.
But that's my point. Are we sure
Houston's like
back to earth game? Are we really about to get a hang on CJ, come back down to earth a little bit game? Because for the last 2 weeks, everyone's been screaming and how good is CJ Stroud? How wonderful is this kid? I mean, I gave him the kiss of death by calling him an MVP. So, we'll see what happens there. So I'm going Houston, but this could be closer than you think.
I think this is a tight game, actually. Like,
high scoring.
Houston's going to win this game, I think, but Arizona is going to put up a fight. I almost feel like Kyler is going to make a hero ball, like a Josh Allen-esque type mistake in this game towards the end that will cost them.
I'll go Houston.
All right. Let's throw out some. Let me just check the double XP weekend calendar. See if it's this week. I don't know if it is, but let's. I'm throwing out Kyler Murray, aka top 10 quarterback Kyler Murray.
I think stonks because that defense is right.
Yeah, the Houston defense is not that good. I think Kyler will actually do statistically against them.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, again, actually could be quite interesting. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the San Francisco 49ers.
No.
I don't really think so. I mean,
I got the Niners winning this soundly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again,
I don't know about soundly. I do like the Tampa defense.
Convincingly.
Look, I agree with you. The Tampa's got a decent defense. The problem we've seen is when Tampa go up against the real teams, they get murdered.
Yeah.
And
That's fair.
the 49ers are a real team. So
And
Brock
you
might
have-
not play great. I'll agree with that,
Right.
but I think
Don't
it
send you
will
enough.
limit Baker. I think Baker will have a relatively poor game, and that's what's going to end up causing this one.
You have a pissed off Christian McCaffrey right now.
Because he didn't
That
score
too.
a touchdown.
Oh yeah, his
That was
streak got-
hilarious. They tried so hard at the end to get
They
it to
tried
him.
so hard.
They tried so hard to get him
He's
into the
going to
episode.
start a new streak. He's going to start a new one.
The only thing Jacksonville did right was they got up and they said no. No, yeah, hell no, you ain't getting that record against us.
I think McCaffrey joked after the game. He's like, "Yeah, I suck. Everyone else is."
yeah.
He apologized to his fantasy
that
owners.
was funny. I'm not that good.
So for this one, I'm gonna throw out the name of let's go Debo. It's gonna be snatching chains or snatching zeros.
I like him.
He's
I like
back.
Debo
Brock,
this one.
He's back. He's
Brock
healthy.
has his favorite weapon back
healthy.
suddenly. So yeah,
He's got all his favorite weapons.
Yeah, they're healthy.
Brock loves Debo. Out of all of them, that's why Brock sucked the last couple of weeks because Debo's been gone.
True.
All right. Up next, left side, strong side, bowl part 2. The New York Jets versus the Buffalo Bills.
I'm gonna stay out
Remember,
of this.
the last time these two teams played, it was
It
a
was week
disaster
one.
for both actually.
Yes, it was.
So
Alan's breaking his
we're gonna
Achilles.
go-
I just know it.
let's go to the unbiased party first. Con, what do you say?
I mean, with how badly Zach Wilson has played, it can't be. Josh Allen can't be worse than that. So I will still begrudge. I'll still take the Bills.
I'm going to say if you are in need of a kicker in fantasy, grab Greg Zerloin as quickly as possible because he is going to put the only points the New York Jets are going to score this week. Buffalo is going to win this game.
It's not going to be a blowout, obviously, but yeah, they'll win.
Look,
I
this
think-
is my other bet of the week because you can get Jets at 7+, and it's going to be a close game. Because the Bills do not blow the Jets out. No matter how bad the Jets are, the Bills just cannot blow them out.
Mhm.
This is going to come down to a 4-point game. I think Bills win it, but it's bloody close, and it's going to give me a heart attack again.
Welcome being a Steelers fan. So for this game, a guy who might be so disgruntled. Wait a minute. Connor, are you a Bills fan?
Hmm?
Connor, are you a Bills fan?
At the beginning of the year, I was pressured by Nancy to pick someone to start rooting for because I grew up not actually rooting for a team. So maybe I'm the kiss of death because I did start kind of rooting for the Bills. I'm the kiss of death.
So what the Bills need to do, they need to take Con and Haley Steinfeld, put them in a circle, never let them leave.
Oh, please put me in a room alone with Haley Steinfeld. Thank you.
Can't do-
Welcome.
can't do
back.
Look, here's the
Can't do
thing. Look, I'll give up this season. If Josh Allen gets with Haley Steinfeld and they just end up being together, you know what? Fuck
Good
it,
for
Josh.
him.
I
Good
get
for
it.
him.
I get it. That's fair.
Good for you.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Fair enough. I get it.
All right. So for this one, a guy who might be so pissed off that a guy who might be on his last season with the Bills, Stephon Diggs.
He's gonna go join his brother in Dallas.
I don't like him in
be
this
so
game.
pissed off.
Not against Sauce. Not with
Sauce.
Sauce.
I'd be so pissed off if he went to Dallas. Like, I would never forgive Stephon Diggs went to Dallas. Up next, the Seattle
can't
Seahawks
afford
taking
it.
on Los Angeles. Funny, another Week 1 rematch. Seahawks
This
versus
one's
Rams.
this one's actually one of the tougher ones for me, like because we don't know enough about what the Rams are putting on the field right now.
We don't know if
Vegas
it's
has
Stafford or
no
Wentz.
idea. Look,
Yeah.
Vegas has no idea either because you can get Seahawks at -1. They have no idea on this game. I'm going Seahawks, and I think it's a good bet to go Seahawks.
I think
'Cause
the
I do
early
think-
rumor is that Stafford plays, but
Yeah,
again,
they're
early.
still Stafford's still 50-50.
Right.
I'm not willing to say I think he is 50-50. I think he probably plays, but he's going to be very limited.
Yeah.
And I think Seahawks win this game.
A close one,
However,
but yeah,
we
I
do
picked the
definitely get
Seahawks.
another audio of "Oh God,
oh my god! Oh my god!
All right. So for this, oh no, he's got to step up. He's got to be super black. He's got to be like, got to step it up like 2 levels, like 20 levels of black. Like, oh Lord, oh Jesus.
Look, you
something
can
along
do
those
that.
lines.
I can't.
Yeah,
Okay?
we
I
can't say
can't
those
do
things.
that.
Oh Jesus, help me! All right, for this game, I'm going to throw out. You know what? He hasn't been stonks in a while. I'm going to say Cooper Cup.
I like him in this game.
If Stafford
Yeah, I like
plays,
him
then
in this
yes.
game.
Then yes.
Yeah.
Then yes.
He's
If it's
Cooper
Wentz, heck
Kupp.
no.
If Wentz is playing, stonks or not
must-see
stonks
TV.
him with a spoon.
Absolutely.
All right, Sunday
must-see
night
TV.
football. I don't know why we're watching this, but you know we are.
Two teams
Minnesota
on winning
Vikings
streaks.
versus the Denver Broncos. That's true. Two teams on winning
They're
streaks.
both on
Think
winning
about it.
streaks.
But we all waiting to Sunday to see the Hunger Games? Like, I don't know.
Oh, that does come out this week, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it sucks.
Yeah,
I've
but-
actually got tickets to Thursday, so I'm like seriously considering trading them to go Friday. I'm like, I might be going Friday because I
Yeah,
really
exactly.
want to. I really want to watch that game or go to an earlier session. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
I've got Vikings,
I do too.
but it's gonna be close.
This should be- yeah, this
this
should
is
also be
gonna
close.
be a real. I actually think this will actually be a good game. Like I think this could actually be a fun.
We wouldn't have said that
Not-
like 3 weeks ago.
I know, but I think it could be a fun. What the hell is going on game?
Yeah, maybe.
Like one of those ones where it's just crazy, but in like a fun, stupid kind of way.
Yeah.
All right. For this game, you know, let's throw him out there. Alopecia Poppy, Josh Dobbs.
The way he's playing, I'm going with him.
Broncos defense
Yep.
is a little better now, but I'd still say, yeah, he'll play well enough.
All right, stonks for Josh Dobbs. We believe in you, buddy. You don't need 2 eyebrows to be a good quarterback. Up next, Monday Night Football.
Whoa.
This is
Easy game.
This is game of the week.
Whoa.
Philadelphia
up.
Eagles versus Kansas City Chiefs.
This
Rematch
this-
of
outside
Super
of
Bowl.
outside of NBC, this week the NFL went, okay, we're very sorry for
We'll
all
put
of
on
the
good games
primetime
now.
games last week. Here you go.
Yeah, here's the good games. I don't even know.
Fuck, Super Bowl revenge. Yeah, let's go Eagles.
I think I agree with you on that. I think the Eagles are going to take this one.
I ain't touching this game with a 10-foot pole.
Oh,
though.
don't
For
do
betting?
that.
No.
Don't do that.
Oh,
I'll go Chiefs because
it's
Andy
a-
Reid off of bye week is really good. So,
yeah.
That's also a good
No,
point.
it's not like that's not.
he's almost like
dumb.
undefeated. Yeah.
Yeah, Chiefs are -2.5. You can get Chiefs at -2.5. My one concern with it is when Chiefs go up against against talented team in Arrowhead, they generally lose.
Also,
That's
Taylor
my
Swift
one
won't be at
thing.
this game, so
Yep.
Kelsey's gonna suck.
Kelsey might not be
Oh,
at
yeah.
this game.
Yeah.
He's a little. He's
You
a little
had to
busy.
bring it up. You had to bring her up.
I mean, how could we?
How dare you?
Both Kelsey brothers are in this game.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, that's my thing. Like the Chiefs against like, I would say like slightly above average to good defenses, their offense, they tend to struggle. So I am leaning Philly on this one, and I think that I'm not sure if this will lock Jalen Hurts for MVP, but like it'll make it an even
He plays
closer.
really well. In my
Bit
A
closer.
convincing game.
a convincing game.
Yeah.
A convincing game in prime time. It will be very tough to lose MVP from here.
He doesn't have
Like,
Goddard, so that is one strike again, not in his favor.
But AJ
There's
Brown
gotta
has
be.
just been
I
lighting the
know he
world on
doesn't.
fire.
He's not the run.
You got AJ
Doesn't
Brown,
have the full
Devonta Smith, and
complement.
Julio Jones. You'll survive.
Like that's the other thing because the Eagles don't have. Do the Eagles have another primetime game?
Probably.
have to.
Yeah.
I'd have to double check that.
They have one. They have the Cow. Yeah, they have one
Cowboys,
more, and
yeah,
it's
there
the
you go.
Cowboys one. It's the Cowboys one at home. That's their last primetime game of the year. So if Hurts, here's the thing. This is actually a very big game for Hurts because if he loses this game, I actually think it's going to cost him MVP. Because in prime time, when voters watch, he didn't deliver. That could end up impacting.
All right, so for this game, I'm throw him out there. Jalen Hurts.
I think
like
he
him.
has a good game. I think he does have a good game. It's the toughest defense he's played all year, easily.
Yeah.
So
New
Yeah,
York.
Cowboys defense also.
New York.
Yeah, it's also good.
no, I think Chiefs have a bit of defense. I really do. I think Chiefs have a
I-
bit of
They're all up there. They're all up there.
I'd go New York, but yeah, still. All right, and that's going to bring us to the end of the show. Conwell, thank you for joining us once again. Where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter at the King Con. I'm on Letterboxd if you care about what movies I watch. And yeah, I'm around just a lot of people's channels. You can find me at various places.
Jacob.
You can find me crying. And but you can find me just screaming into a void on Twitter at Jacob Blunden and watching very sad, depressing movies to make myself feel better on Letterboxd at Jacob Blunden.
Can't wait for your rewatch of Salo, 125 Days of Sodom.
You're gonna watch Marley and Me to feel better.
I need to perk up. Turn on Schindler's List.
Yes.
Mike, where can we find you?
You can find me every Wednesday night on What the Show podcast. Tomorrow night, someone Khan's very familiar with, Mr. Taylor Cleek, will be joining us.
Ooh, nice.
Oh,
Alright,
can I plug something that I completely forgot? We actually relaunched our podcast. Lights on a Screen is back. So yes, we are back at Lights on a Screen. If you want to follow our,
You don't want to barge into the room
Marvels.
if you had forgot.
I completely forgot about that. Yeah, we actually relaunched it this week.
All right. And if I'm Twitter, Instagram, Chance Wars _91. Check out the podcast stories by Chance. And yeah, that's going to do it for us here. Thank you for watching. And we will see you next week.